Yeah, so we are an example, a living example of less is more. So less classes, more teachers in this particular format. And we are tackling just a small subject called the architecture of life. So we don't really, maybe we can exhaust it in one class. But the bigger message that we are committed to sharing with the audience is the enormity of this relationship between life and art form, in everything that impacts us. Obviously, I bring the perspective from architecture, and Philippa from the arts. You want to say so from the writing?
Sure. So we've had so much wonderful fun already preparing this course over the last 7 or so months together. And I think one of the things we're sort of fascinated by is the art forms that lie in the most seemingly arbitrary compositions of matter. And so you might see a beehive, an anthill, and the wonderful art forms that reside in those. Pierluigi will say a little more about this in a moment. But where I come into this is looking at the concept of time to begin with. How did we get so burdened by time? So we think of the way we're really slaves to those little square implements that we all carry in our pockets. And so thinking about how time has evolved as a really constraining concept, looking at how time has been conceived of, many philosophers would say, in quite an arbitrary way as a linear concept. And I want to take you back to the to where clocks really made their entrance in the 15th, 16th century. What did people do before clocks? How did clocks change the way people behaved? And how did they impact the Industrial Revolution? Then how do we get to today? Over again to Pierluigi.
So in the subject of architecture, the relationship with nature has taken many different forms, from the drawing of proportions that are used in classicism to the development of new geometries in the age of computing. And so as we track how that negotiation between nature and form takes place, we'll show that in reality we're telling a lost story, a love affair that humanity has had with itself, with how nature is understood, as it's symbolized, how it's celebrated, how it's through the intellect recalibrated so that it can be relevant through the various technologies that we have had. We're going to trace the evolution of the word organic that can be claimed from Frank Lloyd Wright, but a much earlier level. And it would be kind of an array of examples from showing specifically the literal translation of natural forms in architectural forms, as well as an allegorical relationship with the subject matter. And I think I covered it all.
Yeah, yes. And we get one more second because there's two of us, just to say the architecture of life, what a huge subject. And we think that one of the wonders is looking at Larry's exhibition, bringing that into our discussion, bringing architecture, literature. Please come join us, because this is one of the most exciting things for both of us that we've been able to do over the last couple of years.
Thank you. Great. Okay. Thank you both.